Hello, beautiful singers. This is Valerie White-Williams at Vocal Splendor Studios. And today I would like to talk to you about another vocal myth. And this vocal myth is, once you study classical singing, you can use that technique to sing anything. Yes, this has been around for a very, very long time. And I think it stems from the collegiate atmosphere and their deep held belief, some of them, that classical technique trumps everything. Sorry about trumps. So this is, I think, from the collegiate environment where classical singing reigns supreme, and their belief that once you sing classically, you can sing anything, because classical singing is the most complicated music and everything else is less than. And yes, a lot of faculty think that classical is where it's at. Unfortunately, many of those people have not had very much experience singing non-classical or contemporary music. Some of them have, so I don't want to put everybody in that box, but many of those people have no experience singing this other kind of music. And there is a kind of snobbery that only classical Western music is worthy of study and everything else isn't. It's less than. It's poor people music, really. Or it's from another culture that's not ours. And I have strong feelings about that, and I could really go on about jazz history and America's contribution to musical world, but let me just state that that is wrong in so many ways, because the rhythmic music that came out of America from the jazz and the slaves, basically, that brought the rhythmic music, keyword rhythmic music, is different. Phrasing is different. The focus of the music is different than the classical music. Now, that said, there have been many people who have had classically trained, and then they have gone on to sing other styles of music, and there's tons of people who have done that. However, there's some tweaking of the technique that needs to happen. What I've seen with a lot of classically trained singers is they have a good sense of the breath, and that is probably the best thing that you can learn from learning classical voice, is that you do tend to learn to use the breath effectively, which is important for all singing. However, classical singing is more about the vocal line, and it's more about open phrases that are connected for the whole phrase, where contemporary music tends to be more rhythmic. So the rhythmic pulse is more dominant, and oftentimes the ability to groove in that rhythmical pace is more important than the pretty voice, especially in rock music. Sometimes we don't want a pretty voice. A pretty voice is not rough enough and edgy enough. So singers that have the pretty voice in classical can actually train to get more edge, and a lot of it is the phrasing, it's how we shape the vowels, but again, they'll have to retrain slightly to get those mouth positions and the phrasing. It doesn't come automatically, and the reason why is singing is muscle memory. So we develop this muscle memory like we do for riding a bike. And so what happens when you're classically trained, not only do you sing in voice lessons, but you have choir, which is kind of reinforces similar patterns. And those patterns of the drop jaw is not what we use in most pop singing. We have to do it's a totally different way of shaping the vowels, syncopating, improv. That's the other thing. A lot of contemporary music, we improv. We make things up, we embellish. Classical singing, for the most part, is not embellished. You do what the composer says. So yes, you can take classical training, but you're going to probably have to retrain with a coach in order to be authentic, because most pop, rock, contemporary artists, they don't want you to sound like an opera singer necessarily. They want you to develop your own style. And so you kind of have to break the rules in order to sound funky or swing or these other things that we do when we're singing contemporary music, or husky. So hopefully when someone tells you that, oh, are you a voice teacher? What do you teach? I teach classical, but I want to sing pop. I want to sing R&B. Oh, but that's okay, because, once you sing classical, you can sing everything. It doesn't really work that way. And hopefully if a teacher tells you that, ask them, well, do you have experience singing pop, R&B? And if they say no, then that's probably not the teacher for you, really. You should take lessons from a teacher who has experience singing the music you want to sing. Don't listen to people that just try to get you to have lessons and tell you that this will work. Because I get people all the time that come from other teachers that want to sing pop, they want to sing rock, they want to sing metal, but they've been classically trained, and I have to kind of retrain them in different ways. Let me know what you think about classically trained singing and singing contemporary music. Have you had a teacher tell you that? Have you had to find another teacher? Please share in the comments. Thanks for the likes, subscribes, and shares. I so appreciate it. Hope you have a great day and sing on.